Hello, everyone. Sokoto government confirms US strike, says terrorist camps destroyed, no civilian casualties. I think this is the first time we're hearing specifically from the Sokoto state government. Even in Nigeria, it's a ministry of okay. We've had some spokesperson, but the government hasn't categorically said anything. Tinubu's legitimate administration, of course, he's having his holiday, he's having his visitation. Khan went to him and Lord have mercy. If Nigeria wants to progress, you see these religious rulers, the Islamic one, the Christian ones, all of them, they need to put them aside. Otherwise, that they went to go and clap for Tinubu and say that, oh, he's doing well and everything and all of that. That one is another story. I don't even know whether I have time for that story. But if I have the time, I will take them. Otherwise, it's just so irritating. But hey, that's what we are. So Tinubu is out there in Lagos having his fun, receiving visitors, homemade. They are coming to kiss his ring, dobale for him. How many days remain? You can steal it though, but it's not forever. But so we have this is from the government of Sokoto. The clarification was contained in a statement issued on on Friday, issued today by the Director General of Media and Publicity, Government House Sokoto, Abubakar Bawa, and made available to journalists in the state capital. The Sokoto state government has stressed that investigations are ongoing following a joint action carried out by the Nigerian military in collaboration with the United States against terrorist enclaves in Tangaza local government area, even as it confirmed that no civilian casualties were recorded. Because that's one of the consistent news that we've had, that no civilian, casualty. But as I was just reading this thing, I just thought for a moment, let me just take a moment. That former Minister of Defense that came out to say that bomb cannot reach terrorists in the forest, in the district. That man, let me just leave that one. That bomb cannot. Can you imagine? But this one now, it's reaching them right where they are. This clarification was contained in a statement issued on Friday by the Director General of the Media and Publicity Government House, Abubakar Bawa, made available to journalists in the state capital. According to the statement, the joint operation conducted on Wednesday formed part of sustained efforts to dismantle terrorists and bandit networks operating within Sokoto State and along Nigeria's northwestern borders, with post-strike assessment still underway. That's to say they are still assessing, the impact. The impact of the airstrike could not be immediately determined as assessment reports from the joint operations are still being awaited, the statement stated. The state government said investigations remain active following public concerns over the discovery of suspicious objects near Jabo town in the Tambuwa local government area, noting that conclusion could only be drawn after detailed analysis by relevant authorities. The circumstances surrounding the objects found in a location near Jabo town could not be immediately explained, as the outcome of analysis by the Nigeria-US military authorities is being awaited, Bawa stated. He emphasized that despite the ongoing investigation and assessment in both locations, no civilian casualties were recorded in Tangaza and Jabo communities. And I've seen quite a number of different individual handles talking about this, but I didn't talk about it because I was waiting for more official clarification, where they're saying that this is the axis where you have, those Lakurawa, those vicious ones. And one of the things is that those terrorists in that Sokoto axis, they are extremely very vicious. But unfortunately, they sort of like get away most times, because most times it's Muslims they are killing, right? So it's just like most people are like, oh, nah, them. They don't get that impact and news like the ones, when it's not Muslims that they're killing. But they've been doing a lot of heinous. They are the ones that the other time they were reported, they caught up, newborn and fed it to dogs. That's how bad if you see the heinous things that they're doing, and they've been saying is that ISIS backed Lakurawa, and there's another one, another name that is given to them. And within that place is where this recent school abduction that happened in Kebbi State. So like in the north, there's a particular place where it's almost like a forest. It's not forest, but it's still forest like a place, and it's literally ungoverned. You don't have government space presence there. You don't have our security there. You don't have a lot of this. So it's almost as if this is the place that they run through. Even the ones that had to do, there was one that had to do, was it Kaduna, Naija? There's also, I can't remember what they call that, like a forest that, like you have the Sambisa forest. There's another one within that northwest that they also hide within, and you find themselves there. And what some of the things, I've seen some of the videos online because they are from individual handles. I'm still waiting to see, main media houses carry them, where you're seeing them walking on you're seeing them walking and then being taken out, sort of. I've been part of reconnaissance, this thing that they do, airstrike, like this one that they do airstrike. I've done that, like the time that Bring Back Our Girls movement, we joined the Air Force in Sambisa. Still flying over. We did one in the afternoon, we did another one in the midnight, and you could see the aircraft, this fighter jet, that's when the Nigeria looking down, and you'll be seeing the sort of like the terrorists and movements and all of that. And they're in there. You see them in deep village. There was one very huge, big tree, like when we were flying, and they were saying that that's where they are. You could see activity. Sometimes some of them are coming out. There was even one when we were flying. It was a woman and a child, and the woman was now running and stuff like that. It's just crazy. How we got out of that? God, Aisha, Isufu, the places the way I've risked my life in this Nigeria, I think one day, even me, I don't think I'll be able to tell my story. And after we came back was when the Air Force now mistakenly bombed somewhere. They also there was another, I think 2 bombings that went on at that time. My light might soon go off. Let me quickly, finish on this. So he emphasized that despite the ongoing investigation and assessment in both locations, no civilian casualties were recorded in Tangaza and Jabo communities. Sokoto State welcomes any collaboration. I told you. I don't know whether you can even see me. But let's continue. Sokoto State welcomes any collaboration between Nigeria and all relevant global stakeholders aimed at curbing the menace of terrorism and cross-border crimes in the state, the statement noted. The state government reiterated its commitment to supporting security agencies as investigations and security operations continue across the state. The Sokoto state government has consistently supported security agencies in the fight against banditry and terrorism by providing necessary equipment to enhance safety across the state, the statement said. It also called for continued public cooperation as security agencies conclude their investigations. The government calls on residents to continue to pray to Almighty Allah to assist our security agencies to defeat criminals in the state and the country at heart. Sahara reporters earlier reported that the United States and Nigeria collaboratively carried out an airstrike on terrorist hotspots in Sokoto State. Although there have been concerns on if Nigeria was aware of the strike, the Bola Ahmed-led administration, illegitimate administration, by the way, insists that it was fully aware of the operation. At the end of the day, there's one thing that Nigerians want, which is an end to this terrorism. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.